We got you! We got you. And more to come.
A few moments later.
We got you! We got you. And more to come. Clown, thug, crook, criminal.
And just before the House was scheduled to vote on that funding bill, New York Congressman Jamal Bowman pulled a fire alarm inside the Cannon House office building. This photo has just been released by U.S. Capitol Police. Congressman Bowman told reporters he was trying to get through a door and thought the alarm would open that door. His spokesperson says it was an accident and that the congressman regrets any confusion. Some Republicans in the House want Bowman censured for his actions. Capitol Police say they are investigating.
Are you concerned about the accusation that Congressman Jamal Bowman is accused of pulling a fire alarm in a congressional office building, and what are the next steps here?
I haven't seen the video. Until I see the video, I'll have no further comment.
Wow. Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So those of you that watch, you know that I've been fed up with Republicans for a very, very long time, and they have buckled yet again on a temporary Band-Aid spending measure for another 45-day extension on having to actually do the job that we sent them there to do, proving yet again the most recent time just how weak they really are. And I'm going to do another video on this in a little bit, but what I really want to talk about is a massive opportunity that they now have right now and only right now to finally prove me wrong and to show their constituents that they're willing to do the tough stuff and actually stand up for what is right. And I honestly don't think they're going to be willing to do it. I don't think they have the fortitude for it. But what I'm actually talking about here is their opportunity to hold Democrat Congressman Jamal Bowman responsible for, to use the Democrats' own definition, an act of insurrection. And to quote Joe, this is not a joke. He has done basically the very, very same thing that most of the so-called insurrectionists have been charged with. He obstructed a House floor vote in an attempt to keep them from voting on whether or not they're going to keep the government open, which we've been told by them is so imperative and so serious. So I can only guess, this is just a guess, he was trying to close the government so that they could play political games to blame Republicans. Super interesting way to do it. I can't believe anyone would actually do this. But here's the thing. I know the left is going to minimize this. They're going to try and ignore it. But guys, this is a crime. It's a crime to pull a fire alarm without an actual emergency in probably every building in the country, in most places at least. We learned this literally day one of elementary school. Do not touch that red thing on the wall. And this moron did it on camera. So yeah, now the Republicans have a golden opportunity to not just do the right thing, but to A, hold the man accountable as they should, and he should be held accountable, and B, make the Democrats literally eat their words when it comes to taking democracy, taking the congressional proceedings and taking crime seriously. And C, finally get rid of someone who really is one of the more unintelligent people in Congress and has been a real problem, not just for Republicans, but for literally anyone who really takes their role in Congress seriously. Here's just a reminder, here's the kind of person that we're actually talking about here.
Allows teachers to carry.
Carry guns?
Would you
More guns lead to more death.
Would you co-sponsor
More
that bill?
guns lead to more death.
Would you co-sponsor
Look at
that
the
bill?
data. You're not looking at any data.
The
You're
data.
carrying
data.
the water for the gun lobby.
No,
Look at
listen.
the data.
I'm
More
carrying
guns
for
lead
the
to more
kids.
deaths.
For the kids.
States that have open carry laws have more deaths.
In every school that
States
allows
that have
carry,
open
there's
carry
never been a
laws
shooting.
have more deaths.
There's never been a shooting.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Yeah, calm down.
Calm down. Children are dying.
I know, I've got a solution.
9-year-old children.
I've got a
The solution is
solution.
not arming teachers.
That's
Have you ever
worked in
worked in a
every
school?
school. In
Have
every
you
school
ever
that's
worked in
done
a
it.
school?
In every
Have you ever worked in a school?
So this is what we have here. A male member of the squad, figure that out, who is either a habitual grandstander or legitimately unhinged. Honestly, it's probably a little from column A, a little from column B, I guess. But this guy, he literally attempted to keep the government shut down. He tries to obstruct an official proceeding. And now, to their credit, he's actually under serious investigation by the U.S. Capitol Police. Hopefully, they don't ask the Secret Service to do the fingerprint and DNA analysis on this deal. But let's have a look at what Kevin McCarthy and a few other Republicans have to actually say about this. But before we do, guys, thanks to everyone that's been subscribing and leaving such great comments in the community. Really, really appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, help us out with the algorithm. Like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share the channel. Check this out.
Yes, sir.
What do you think the consequences should be for children to pull the fire and what steps?
I think ethics should look at this, but this is serious. When you think of how other people are treated when they wanted to come in and change the course of what was happening in this building. And did he deny he did it when it's on tape? And I'm going to have a discussion with the Democratic leader about it. But this should not go without punishment. This is an embarrassment. You're elected to be a member of Congress. You pulled a fire alarm in a minute of hours before the government being shut down, trying to dictate that government would shut down? What's going through a person's mind like that? But we will find the right ability to deal with this. Yes.
Yeah, so there you have it. McCarthy actually looks pained by this deal. And I have to ask you guys, let me know in the comments, do you think he looks so pained because he's just that disappointed in the man and disappointed in the situation? Or do you think he's upset that now he has to pretend to care and may actually have to do his job? Or is it he could be upset that he just completely buckled to the Democrats and now he knows he's really screwed us? Let me know in the comments what you think, and take a look also at what Marjorie Taylor Greene has to say about this. This is a good one.
I want to talk about Jamal Bowman pulling the fire alarm. Capitol Police are questioning him right now because it's on video. He violated the exact same law that January 6th defendants are being prosecuted for every single day. He violated the exact same law, interrupting an official proceeding, and by pulling a fire alarm. It's on video, and the Capitol Police have the information.
Did you see?
This is outrageous. They have it on video.
Have you seen the video?
I haven't seen the video yet, but I'm going to be demanding it. I'm demanding that the Department of Justice prosecute him the same way they prosecuted January 6th defendants. It's the exact same law. Exact same law. This is outrageous. He's a Democrat representative. Here's what happened. Catherine Clark, the whip, called the motion to adjourn, and within, I don't know, a few minutes, it was literally right after that, Jamal Bowman pulls a fire alarm while the vote was happening. You guys, this is unprecedented. The Democrats will do anything to make sure it's shut down because billions of dollars are not going to their favorite country, Ukraine. I mean, you guys really, so Olivia Beavers has tweeted it. This is the law. This is the law. Otherwise obstructs, influences, or impedes any official proceeding or attempts to do so shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. This is the law that January 6th defendants are being locked up, they're rotting in jail, and they're being prosecuted every single day. Non-violent offenders are being put in jail for this.
You took a video over there. Did you happen to catch like a part of it, or I saw you posted a video on Twitter? Did you catch a part of it?
Look, it's being reported everywhere. You can ask go ask the Capitol Police about it. I'm demanding the video. House admin has already reported it. They have seen the video. It's just unbelievable. He's a representative breaking the law.
So yeah. So I have a feeling that she's not going to let this thing go. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And I think it's fair that we hear from Congressman Bowman. After all, I'm sure he has a perfectly clear and acceptable explanation of why at least it looks like he committed an unhinged act of insurrection. But what did he say? So according to his chief propagandist, chief of staff, he opened the safety mechanism, lifted it out, pulled it out of the way, and then pulled the big red handle labeled "Do Not Pull" because he actually thought it was one of those big blue buttons with a wheelchair on it and that it would open the door automatically for him. A door that probably never exited ever. Not sure why he would even be using that door. As you can see in the picture here, it's not even a common door. I don't think that it could be more clearly marked as not an exit. It basically says, only come here if you wish to pull the fire alarm and commit an insurrection. So here's the thing, unless he sought some official out to tell them, that his mistake and, hold off calling the fire, don't search for a fire, I accidentally pulled that. He didn't do that. So there's zero chance anyone should actually believe this. And another thing, you know, if it were somehow by some Twilight Zone fantasy actually true, then I'm sorry, man, but this guy is just not smart enough to be a member of Congress. And he's not, shouldn't be trusted to make any law that could possibly ever affect you or me.
Hi, boys and girls. This is Congressman George Santos. This here is a fire alarm. If you lift this part here and pull this down, you trigger an alarm. Don't do it. Stay good, kids.
So yeah, so when you're getting served up by George Santos, you may have a real problem, dude. And here's the thing, you know, this really is a test for the GOP. You know, let me know in the comments if you think that they'll actually make an effort to do something about this. And, you know, honestly, you know, they better, because everybody knows. I mean, even the Democrats who have literally lost control of their own brains, even they know that, you know, if these roles were reversed and the Republican tried to delay a House vote, you know, by let alone committing a crime, we'd be down a congressman basically immediately. And to the credit of a few Republicans, man, to their credit, they were already working on expelling the man from Congress, which of course should provide some pretty fun to watch meltdowns by our vote blue, no matter who media people, and by our, you know, the laws for thee, but not for me, Democratic Party. And the first person up apparently is AOC. And here's what she had to say on CNN.
It's an interesting moment over the weekend when your New York colleague, Congressman Jamal Bowman, and he's under investigation for this now after Capitol Police say he pulled a fire alarm in one of the House office buildings. Democrats were trying to delay a final vote on the bill. There he is pulling the fire alarm. He says it was an accident. He thought pulling the alarm would open a door based on the fact that the doors to his right there were locked, and there was a sign that he said he was, I think someone said it was confusing. I'll be honest, it doesn't really make sense to me, his explanation. Have you talked to him? What's going on there?
I mean, listen, I think if you actually do see some of the photos of the signs, I think there's something to be said about the government's about to shut down. There's a vote clock that's going down. The exits that are normally open in that building were suddenly closed.
So you pulled the fire alarm?
So what I am here to say is that House administration and U.S. Capitol Police and Jamal Bowman are an active, and he's fully participating in saying there was a misunderstanding. But what I do think is important to raise is the fact that Republicans, representatives like Nicole Malliotakis and others, immediately moved to file motions to censure, motions to expel, before there has even been conversations that are finished to even see if there was a misunderstanding here.
What is she actually talking about? You know, she knows that there is no explanation. There's no getting around the facts that the guy did it. He tried to hide it. And I already showed you guys what the signs, you know, she says, you know, she's trying to gaslight the American public about. She sounds like a fool. And Jake Tapper, to his credit, you know, I think he's finally coming around, but really, is she serious, man? How long does she expect them to wait to hold her party accountable for their crimes? Which is what this is. You know, she would have, if it was a Republican, she probably already has one written and just ready to go, just fill in the blanks, fill in the names, fill in the action. But, I mean, they're the ones, honestly, that set this precedent themselves. You know, they're the same people that tried to remove Marjorie Taylor Greene for a tweet that she made years before she was even in Congress. And none of this stuff is starting to make, we're getting to the point where none of this stuff makes sense to the American people. It doesn't even make sense to poor Jake Tapper. And, you know, even he knows that you can't pull a fire alarm when you're late for a vote, even if you're a Democrat. But, you know, these people believe that you can't think for yourself. They think that we're stupid. And she absolutely believes that her constituents, the people that put her there, are stupid.
But what they did do, while they did that, what they did not do was to commit to the same when George Santos was actually found guilty after a thorough investigation of 13 federal charges. He's indicted on everything from wire fraud to actual lying of House investigators. And they have been buddying up and giggling with him on the House floor, and they are protecting someone who has lied to the American people, lied to the United States House of Representatives, lied to congressional investigators, but they're filing a motion to expel a member who, in a moment of panic, was trying to escape a vestibule. Give me a break. And so the idea that there is somehow any kind of equivalence to someone who is actively trying to clear up a situation that he himself admits he's embarrassed. He released a statement last night. He apologized. And they are protecting someone who has not only committed wire fraud, not only defrauded veterans, not only lied to congressional investigators, but is openly gloating about it, is absolutely humiliating to the Republican caucus. And
if you lift this part here and pull this down, you trigger an alarm. Don't do it. Stay good, kids.
So first off, who the hell uses the word vestibule? I don't exactly have a limited vocabulary, and truly, I love to make myself look smarter than I really am when I'm having a conversation, but I can't imagine ever using that word. And just a little advice to AOC, when you're trying to gaslight people that you think are stupid, just say hallway or lobby or something. You know, but I guess if you're trying to gaslight, you might as well all the way confuse them. I guess it makes sense. So she's doing a good job. As for George Santos, and as far as that's concerned, the dude is indicted by the government, but he hasn't actually been shown to have broken any house rules. He certainly didn't commit any crimes on tape in the freaking building. So there's that. But anyway, guys, that's just my take. Let me know yours in the comments. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.